welcome to our List to Last session. And our special guest today is Mrs. Cesi Pagano. And Cesi is a top team in Southern California, not only for Keller Williams, but among all brands. Her team in 2020 closed 200 units for a sales volume of 170 million and a GCI of just under 2.8. And year to date, they already closed 27 units for 21 million and just over 400,000 in GCI. Congratulations, Cesi. And
thank you.
On 2020 production. We miss seeing you at the in-person awards like normal, but.
Oh, thanks. Likewise. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you again for your time. And so our purpose of our sessions is we really want to help our agents get more listings and also write better offers as your top listing agent. And so we always want to hear what it is that you're looking for in the offers. So
for sure.
First, I'd like to ask, what are you and your team doing to win more listings in Southern California with the inventory tightness?
Well, that's been a challenge for everybody, including us, of course. A lot of people are not wanting to move, or the ones that are moving sometimes are the challenge mainly has been that they don't have a place to go to, right? So we're in this hamster wheel. But the ones that we have obtained, of course, have been sellers that need to remodel, or they need to do something to their homes. And we do have a program where we can front the money for them to remodel and not pay them to closing. So that's been one of our benefits. Another benefit has been that we have a trade-in program, and the trade-in program basically helps get how it works is we have the seller look for a house first. We help them find that home. The company that we partner with pays cash for their purchase, so it can go down contingent, and then they buy out their house. Of course, it's like an iBuyer program, so they pay below market value, so they have to be okay with that. So those are programs that we've partnered up with other vendors to get creative in this market, and that's what you got to do, right?
Absolutely. And what about farming and servicing your database? How are you doing that any differently?
Yeah, basically one of the things that's been a little bit different for us, we've realized this year that leaving messages, calling, emailing is not necessarily working. So we just started texting people, and I'm just getting right to the point, and basically texting saying something really simple that says, if I were to bring you a buyer, would you consider selling? So we're getting a lot more interaction. We're getting more people to respond to those text messages. I guess people prefer to be in text. It's not our preference of communication, right? Because you always want to be face-to-face or verbalizing.
Absolutely.
But if you're trying to get to the point and see me immediate feedback, that's been helping quite a bit.
And what kind of response are you getting when you're asking that?
At least we're getting engaged. We're getting at least people engaging with us. Some people are like, yeah, bring us a buyer, or rather sell it off market. And of course we have to still go through the process of making sure the home is the right fit for the buyers we're working with. Because if they're not, then obviously we have to consult them through that process and see what that looks like. We have a lot of pocket listings, sellers that don't want to go on MLS, which doesn't help anyone, including us, because it's a slower process. But I think the fear for a lot of people is just not finding a replacement home because of the inventory. So again, back to that wild goose.
Most definitely. Are you experiencing a lot of sellers moving out of Southern California?
Yeah, I would say at least 30 to 35% of our clients are skipping town.
And are they having troubles in other cities finding property?
They're having exactly the same problem because inventory is low throughout the entire country, especially in the destination areas where most people tend to go to, like Texas and Tennessee and Idaho and some Nevada and Arizona. And those are primarily the big ones that people are moving to.
Absolutely. And then, so when you do sell one of your listings, what does your marketing campaign look like since it's selling so fast?
Well, we're still staging homes. We're still letting our clients know to put their best foot forward and allow us to do the same, because they're likely to get a higher percentage on their home. Typically, homes that are staged or in better condition, sell for 5% higher than market normally. So that's our marketing goal, and that's basically what we portray. We still take videos, we still do photos, we still do everything, and come come on the market with the best foot forward. There's only one shot for a first impression, right?
Most definitely, most definitely.
Yeah.
But more specifically, what do you do like when you sell a listing? Are you sending postcards? How are you doing any marketing to that?
Most of the homes are selling so quickly that basically what we're sending is just sold cards or just listed and sold in 2 days, and here's where we are. Because if anything, that helps reinforce that you're still out there and for you to be the contact for them, right? Especially in your farm area. And we do send postcards to our database as well. In addition to that, we call our database and text, as I mentioned earlier. I think it's really important to be in touch with them at least 2 or 3 times a year verbally, by calling or texting at least. And then we do the drip systems, of course, every month or if there's holidays in between or birthdays or whatever, we do make contact that way too.
Awesome, awesome. And then how often do you mail to your farm or your past clients?
Our farm, we do every other week. And our clients, same, every other week. We mail, email once a month, unless again, there's a holiday in between. We send them anniversary cards via snail mail and or birthday cards, just to stay in contact with them. In fact, there was one family that called me and said, it's funny, we were just talking about who do we call to list a house, and your anniversary card came in. So obviously it's it's good to stay at top of mind.
Oh, most definitely. And then when you're sending a postcard every other week, what are you putting on those postcards?
Typically, there's a lot of things that we send to our farm and our clients. We have a newsletter, which is what people like to see. In our newsletter, I'm a high D, right? So we make sure I communicate with people the same way, right to the point. And we provide market analysis within their neighborhood of what's going on. In that newsletter, we also talk about what's happening with the market, nationally, locally, and, regionally, just to kind of give them some insight. We also put in little recipes for the ones that will be interested in that. So it's a little bit of every personality who we're trying to reach out. We have a section in our newsletter that says you can advertise in our newsletter for free. Let us know what you like to post. So that gets a lot of interaction as well. And then we put community events in those. Now, and that goes out once a month. So in between, although there's a lot of other things that we do, and I'll explain one of our events that we do in a minute, but primarily what people want to know is who's selling in the area. So to get to the point, here's everything we're selling. And if we don't have something specifically in that farm that given week or month, we let them know, look, we're not just here, we're everywhere. So if you want to move somewhere else, reach out to us as well. So that way you're consistently promoting yourself. So mainly just sold, and look at our, success. We sold this home in such a amount of time and for such many dollars above asking price.
Awesome. So you're still keeping up with your farm and your mail is the point.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
You don't want to
back
stop.
to the basics.
Yep. In fact, what Gary always teaches is, Gary Keller always says, lead with revenue and don't be putting too much money out there if the income is not coming in, or look at your marketing efforts and see what's working, right? Look at your ROI. And I think the important thing here too is stay consistent, because if you disappear, there's just so many agents out there. I run into clients, and no matter how many times we reach out to them, they come to our events, we do things for them. Oh, my sister-in-law just got her license, and there they go. And, sometimes you catch them on time, and sometimes you catch them when it's too late. And what do you do? So you just gotta do
Absolutely. What is your most favorite script when you come across that, a family member or friend?
And I always say, I think it's awesome. Congratulations to your sister, whoever that person is. Real estate is it's a very interesting career path, if anything. If she's new and you guys want to minimize any potential, family issues, I'm happy to work with your sister. I'm happy to train her. She can work with me. We can co-list. Have you thought about that? We try to go down that path, especially if they're new. And if it's somebody that obviously has been experienced, we still touch on the fact that, what if something goes wrong? And what if, there's an issue? Are you willing to change your relationship or have some family issues or friend issues if there's a problem. You know, it's sometimes easier to work with a third party that's neutral. And if they insist, sometimes they'll say, you know, I'm happy to pay them a referral if you're just trying to support their finances. And then at the same time, hire somebody that's going to get it done for you.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. And you made mention about an event you do.
So what we started doing since COVID is the reverse bold. I don't know how many of you guys have checked into that, but as you know, in bold, it's all about contacting the clients. Reverse bold is about getting them to call you. So we post on Facebook, we send it to our farm and to our database to let them know that we're going to have an event via Zoom as an example. One of the things, well, not necessarily Zoom, I mean, there's a lot of different things that we've done, but one of them that we did recently, they got a pretty good turnout, was they had to call us within a specific amount of time. It was a 4-hour session, and it was a raffle that we did. We were giving away a trip to Tahoe, and all accommodations were paid. They had to win on that drawing. They had to call us with a specific time and just give us their name. You know, though we know who they are, just say, hey, this is Joe Schmo, you know, calling in, and here's who I am. And if they gave us a referral and a contact name of somebody they knew who was thinking of buying or selling, they would get a double entry on the raffle. And we got really good response. It was like a call center. It was really funny. Everybody's calling in. So it was great.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. And then what was the actual event? Or was it just for them to call during those 4
Just
hours?
to call. That one
Okay.
was just to call. That was the reverse bold. An event that we did last Christmas as an example, we had a call with Santa. We did a Zoom call with Santa. So a lot of the clients were invited, and they had their little kids on there. They were all muted. So that way they would just hear Santa tell stories, and he would laugh and sing to them and all that stuff. And then he did a raffle, and the winning name got a one-on-one with Santa. So we did a few Zoom events like that. We did one destination for people that are moving out of state. You know, if you're moving out of state, here's a couple agents. We would have like, we did this with a few other agents. We all partnered up, and we picked destinations. Like we picked Texas, a couple of different cities in Texas. We invited a couple of top agents in those areas to talk about their area. We had somebody in Portland or different areas where people are moving to. That was good. There wasn't as many people that turned out to those as to when you're giving things away.
Of course. I love that creativity though. Very cool. Very cool. So as a listing agent working with your sellers, what's important for you to see in these offers that the buyers are writing?
Well, because there's so much of a frenzy, a lot of buyers are buying on impulse too, and sometimes they have remorse. So we want to make sure we stick with the buyer that's most likely to close. It's not just about price, it's about the combination of all of the above. And of course, sellers today are super greedy, right? Oh, I can get 10,000 more, 20,000 more, keep them coming. Well, then now what? We were going to be dealing with appraisal issues. So right now, unless the price is high or higher, and there's no appraisal contingencies, and they're shorting all the other contingencies, that's kind of what is going to win your offer over. And it's sad because, to be honest, I hate this market, and I hate to use the word hate, but it's sad for a lot of our buyers. They're struggling. And, you know, one of my agents has been through showing one of our clients like 42 houses already, and they keep missing out. And it's not that anything that they're doing wrong. It's just, there's just a lot of competition. But most of the time we win. And how you want to do that is partner up with a lender that can get your buyers through a full loan approval. You've got to get them as fully approved as possible. There's lenders out there that will do that with you if you have a good relationship with them. And then make sure they're competent lenders. Try to stay away from the big banks, because a lot of times they don't have, and again, I'm not trying to steer you one way or another, because there are some, like I've dealt with Bank of America or Wells Fargo, and sometimes there's issues, but occasionally there's great reps that know how to package the deals, right? And successfully close them. But a lot of agents worry about the big banks because they're coming short on appraisals and all. So think about lenders that are going to be well received, because when an agent's reviewing offers with clients, let's say they're all equal, it's going to come down to who the lender is, and then who the agent is. A lot of them look up your production, see how much experience you have, how easy is this going to be. So try to be prepared for all that. I would say when we've submitted offers to be able to win, number one is have a good relationship with that agent. Try to establish that up front. How you do that is you follow the instructions thoroughly, read the MLS. You have no idea how annoying it is when you're on the listing side and people are texting you when you have specific showing instructions to go to a different person and they're calling me instead. And they're sending me, and then can you confirm the appointment? Or can you do this? It's like, please read the instructions. So, because then you start thinking, okay, these are agents that are not going to be easy to work with because obviously they don't know how to read or follow instructions. I wouldn't be a pest, but I would be nice. I would be persistent. Sometimes the squeaky wheel will win depending on how you squeak, right? I get agents that sometimes are asking not smart questions. And what I mean by not smart questions is if it's already on the MLS and they're asking you the same thing, it makes it a little bit, I'm not ever mean to anyone. I'm always polite to everyone, but just so you know, those are points towards or against somebody. So it's important you establish that relationship. You come across professional, present a clean offer. Don't leave blanks. Don't be sloppy. Don't send one document and another one after and another one after because you forgot this or that. Package it all properly. Make sure that you have the PEDs, the pre-approvals, the proof of funds, all the things in one package. That alone is going to get you a long way.
I know I laugh, only it's similar when I place a job ad and just putting the instructions. Please attach your resume as a PDF. It's kind of a test within the test. So, but it's important. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sure.
Now we talked a little bit about your lead generation strategies. What else might you be doing and maybe reincorporated since things are loosening up a little bit with COVID?
Well, we have not done obviously open houses. We're not allowed to do any of that. There's some agents violating and doing their signs and stuff, but as tempting as it is, we haven't. I think the important thing is, the coming soons are sometimes helpful, although not always, because you have to be so careful with how you might violate something. I had a situation that we did a coming soon. Well, it was an email that I sent to a whole bunch of agents. We had it all posted on MLS, but an agent looked it up and said, oh, that's not her listing, or it's not whatever. And it was one of my team members listing, but we're still part of the same team. So trying to put up fires and trying to explain to the association that it was all within guidelines, it's just added issues that if you're not careful or understand how these things work with coming soon, just be, don't get yourself into trouble with what I'm getting at, to avoid any mistakes or issues. But as far as what else we're doing is right now it's just staying in contact with your database. That's all you got to do. There's more and more agents out there. The consumers are thinking, most of them have the opinion that our value is less received on their behalf than it used to be, because sellers think the homes are going to sell themselves. Let me just go with the cheapest agent, right? And buyers are like, oh, let me go to the listing agent directly. Well, and I educate those buyers when they call me all the time, and I say, you're a day shy and dollar short. A realtor already brought us a buyer, so you should think about hiring an agent. So those are the challenges that we're trying to overcome, but yet because of everything being so quick with the selling process, we haven't done a lot of any extra marketing other than the typical, right? We make sure that our houses look really good regardless of how the market is. And we let our clients know that that's the pride that we take into, promoting their homes. And as far as your database again. You just got to stay on top of it. Because again, what I was going with is, before I got sidetracked, is there's so many realtors out there and they see so little value that if you're not in front of them at that given moment when they make a decision to either buy or sell, you lost out. So you got to be in front of them a lot. And that's why we're working really hard right now. It's trying to be in front of people and jumping every time a house comes on the market.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you want brand recognition when they think of buying or selling, and think of you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what about, are you doing any online lead generation?
We don't do a lot of that. I refuse to pay money to Zillow. Sorry. They're a competitor now, as you know. So it's just a necessity, that unfortunately things go on those sites, and it is what it is, but it is extra exposure regardless. And I don't discourage our clients from letting us market in those sites. Other than trying to get different leads online. We've never been an online team. We're all about our database, repeat business, and referrals.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Just like the MREA tells us.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And then what are some of the scripts perhaps that you're using with sellers that may have those concerns about finding replacement properties in order to get them to list?
Well, it depends on what the situation is, because we have a lot of different scenarios. Some are, again, looking out of state. Let me connect you with somebody out of state that can, be more aggressive. You want to work with somebody who's got high market share because they're likely to even show you pockets or things before they hit the market. And a lot of times what we do, we try to get still a listings agreement signed, contingent on them finding a replacement. And we try to do an exclusion from MLS until they find something, so that way they don't feel pressured. There are some that have made decisions to move no matter what. And of course, we just try to get them run backs. So we explain to them, we're going to minimize your double move when possible. Run backs are very popular right now, especially in this market, because, the sellers on the driver's seats. I've gotten 6 months, a year lease back. It's crazy. So it's, again, just putting the seller's mind at ease that they're not going to be homeless, because that's the main concern for a lot of them.
Definitely, definitely. And I'd like to ask anyone else on the line if they have any questions for Cesi. And then how are you overcoming the inventory shortage for your team goals?
Well,
are you lead generating more hours? What does that look like?
Well, what we're doing is we're asking our clients to really narrow down by neighborhood where they want to be. What specifically is it that they want in a home? We're very, very thorough with our buyer consultations. It's sad that a lot of agents don't do that, because I have agents that call me a lot about, whatever listing we've got either coming up, if it's coming soon or whatever. And we're trying to minimize showings, but still, because of COVID and because there's just, we want to minimize looky-loos, obviously. And it's because there's nothing more frustrating than a seller getting the home ready, especially now that you have to sterilize everything, and then finding out, oh, they really wanted a view when was never a view home, right? So I always ask a lot of questions to the agents before they show it, and it's sad how many are like, well, I don't know. What is it about this home that your client was attracted to? Well, they just want a 4-bedroom. Okay, well, can you give me a little bit more? Do you know that this home has this and that? Oh, I don't know. Let me check. Oh, never mind. They don't want it. And those are things that agents should be doing right now. To find inventory, if you don't want to go on a wild goose chase, you really got to pin down what they want. Ask a lot of questions, peel that onion. 4 bedrooms, why? Can they do 3 in a loft? What is the purpose of all the bedrooms? Do they need a view, not view? What is it about a style that they like over the other? Can they do some repairs or upgrades? A lot of questions you got to ask. It should be at least a 30 to 40-minute consultation if you're really digging deep. And then once we know what they really want and we have that visualization down to the neighborhoods they want, we start obviously mailing, emailing, contacting sellers in those neighborhoods to see if they're thinking of selling, find something off market. But you can't do that if their options are this big in the entire county, right?
No, that would not be fun.
Right.
Especially now that traffic's back in full swing.
Yes.
Out there. Awesome. Well, does anyone have any questions for Cesi? Thank you so much again for your time.
Oh, of course.
And congratulations on the success.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
We're down on our numbers this year, so I'm not feeling successful, but thank you.
So plenty of time to go.
I have a question.
Yes.
Jesse, what portion of your business came from buyers? You specifically working with buyers?
It's funny
And-
because throughout, I've been in this business 36 years. I started with new home sales, came to KW was my first resale company after interviewing millions of companies, right? Anyway, been 21 years with KW now. And in the 21 years, it's always been me, myself, and I kind of driving the listings. And once I started the team, it was always me carrying the team 80-20 and then 70-30. So in the last couple of years, I'm proud to say that we're at 50-50. So our team is producing at least half of the buyer side, and we're doing 50% of the listing side.
So obviously the capture that you would get from open houses from potential buyers is gone.
Yeah.
How many buyers are actually coming from a potential listing? And I mean, God knows those things are selling within hours.
Right.
I'd have to think that, you know, a chunk of your overall production is just walk right out the door like everybody else because it's just not available.
Well, that's why you got to work your database, because 80% of our business is coming from that database or referrals from them, and or agents. We also, you know, lead generate too.
Right.
Make sure you're in touch with agents outside the area.
Are you using anything like PLS or any other system to capture potential Zillow leads?
We're using Boomtown at the moment, but we're going to be switching to Brivity soon.
Okay, and what is that system?
Boomtown
What
is
does
a
it give you?
CRM is Boomtown is a CRM that basically all the Zillow leads, everything goes into that site and helps you manage they has the drip system and all that stuff. It's a little expensive. It's a little, I think the reason we want to switch to Brivity is because it's more, it takes you from start to finish. It's kind of like Command, and Command is awesome. If you're a single agent, definitely use Command because it's free to you. They're still tweaking it for teams. So my goal is to be with Brivity just for a short amount of time and then switch to Command once it's ready for teams.
We
Because,
ran into a system that is pretty outrageous called PLS.
Never heard of it.
Listing Service. They get around the clear cooperation requirement by CRMLS by giving you the ability to putting your listing into that system, and then it actually it goes out over all the I guess you would say the Realtor.com, Trulia, all those other things out there, and bypasses Zillow, so you get those leads first out of the gate pertaining to
Never
your
heard of
listing.
it, so I can't give you any feedback on that, but
Yeah.
I would love to hear from you how you like it.
It
Once you try it.
Incredible.
And
system.
Chelsea, I'll send you the info so you can
Yeah,
learn more
it's-
about it.
It is dynamic and it is changing the landscape.
Great, good to hear that. Awesome, perfect, thanks.
Does anyone else have any questions for Chelsea?
I don't see anyone's faces.
I know, they're Zoom fatigued after
Yeah.
so long. Oh, there's Hope. Hi, Hope. Well, then, thank you so much. Oh, do you have a question, Hope?
Nope, just want to say hi. I'm getting my oil changed. So
Hi,
I figured
Hope.
you didn't want to see the guys all around my car. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your tips.
Of course.
Yes. Well,
I guess
thank you,
I have
thank
a
you.
question. Oh,
Oh.
if no one has a question, I have a question.
Go for it.
I'm new and everything would indicate that I have joined the wrong career at the wrong time. So do you have any words of encouragement for new people?
It's never a wrong time. Actually, when I first started in real estate, whether it was new homes or resale, I always started at the very wrong time when it was really challenging. Actually, here's the time for you to learn skills. It's when agents come to me and say, oh, I was so smart. I got into the market as a realtor when it was really good and I left just in time. Well, that's not impressive. It's when you come in and stay and you make it, that makes a difference. So if you're in this market now and you learn really good skills, you're going to outperform any agent that's in it for the easy ride. So all I can say is, and as far as your production, when I first started, I didn't have an office yet. with KW because I was working out of a remote office in San Diego County because it was one of the first pioneers. But I was able to culminate my previous sales from new homes and say, you know, I've been in real estate so many years and I've sold so many homes. In your case, and what a lot of my agents do when they're brand new, they'll say, you know, I'm with KW in this particular market center and we have sold over blah, blah, blah. So you can always use the production of your market center as a we, as long as you're not taking just full credit for yourself. But I would say, make sure you're learning as much as possible and build relationships.
Okay.
What's really, really crucial, especially if you're in social media, is portray yourself always as a professional. You know, even with my friends, I don't ever complain about a client or anything like that.
Yeah.
Think of yourself as a celebrity and you're being judged all the time. You've got the paparazzi following you and they're judging every move you make and everything you say. Be careful with that. But other than that, it's just learn as much as you can, shadow other agents that are doing larger volume so you can learn faster.
That sounds great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great question, Hope. Thank you. Thank you. Well, I want to say thank you so much, Cesi, for your time.
My
and
pleasure.
looking forward to seeing 2021 continue and have more inventory. So thank you everyone for joining us today and have a great end to your day. Happy Monday.
Thanks,
Bye for
guys.
now.
Bye. Thank you.